Alright, dear viewers, after this short break, we are already back for the continuation here of the end of the summer split. And yeah, before I go off, I will reintroduce quickly by my side Fresh. Tana, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
I'm here. I'm still here.
And after a very, very strong match from Pertinax, I think we can both agree that they definitely showed what they've got up with that game. We will be headed towards the Clash of Titans, SLOTHS versus FULLCLEAR eSports. And maybe we can also go over the updated standings for a bit to see how it goes, because it is the last stretch before playoffs. Here, Exhibit A will have the Clash of Titans now, and then we have this whole mess of shared third spots where Pertinax, with that win, just pulled themselves up to leaving their fate into the hands of the next teams, and most importantly, the Dynasty versus Once Upon a Team matchup, because if Dynasty wins it, Pertinax is going to be out of playoffs, but at least they're going to be out of the bad playoffs, as you've put it. And we're able to push Aurora to that relegation position.
Yeah, and but the upcoming game, at least, is not too important for the standings. But it's really important for the honor, for the glory, because SLOTHS could play the perfect run against FULLCLEAR if they win a second time. Last time they won, actually. Of course, because they had a clean. They are standing with 13 wins, so of course they won. But if they win against FULLCLEAR, then it would be the clean run. And I mean, at least last splits, you could saw them struggling a little bit against Aroma, and then they lost the tiebreak with Aroma and stuff. But this time, they do not really have like competition, you could say. So we might see just a perfect run all the way. Who knows? They look really, really strong. But FULLCLEAR, at least in my opinion, is like the surprising child of like the school. It's a new kid on the block, and certainly one of the strongest of the split. Just sitting there at the second place and just crushing teams left and right. Of course, losing 5 games also. But it's quite surprising to see them as one of the new teams to dominate so much in this league.
Yeah, definitely. The newcomer, the new kid on the block, you could put it. I can't wait to see if they're able to put a dent into the SLOTHS. This is this last proof they have to put to be crowned definite king of the summer split. Up to now, perfect split. But now going up against the technically second strongest team, so who knows? Maybe they might be able to do it. They had a lot of time to prepare. So I think we're going to still have a very interesting match now. Following up, we'll have the tiebreaker that will decide the first team to definitely lock in playoffs next to SLOTHS and FULLCLEAR eSports, of course, which will be Next versus German Gang, both currently at 6 points, meaning that winner will have 7 and get the third spot for now. And then we'll have the last game of the evening, which will decide quite a lot, because if Dynasty wins, it's easy, they're into playoffs. If they lose, we'll have Dynasty, the loser of match 3, and Pertinax tied for the last spot at playoffs.
Yeah, so let's see who will book the ticket. But before that, let's see if Rift can make it happen, can make the perfect split. I mean, last split, actually, at the last match or something, they lost it, and then they had to play the tiebreaker with Aroma, and then they lost it. So we might see history repeating itself, but at least not with a tiebreaker then. But Rift SLOTHS was at least on a good way to play a perfect split another time before that. So let's see if they can do it again at this time without struggling it. But so far they look just as dominant as you guys would have expected.
Yes, we've said it earlier, honor and glory is the motto of this second match for today. And after that, we're already halfway through tonight, and that means that we're getting closer and closer to the end of the summer split. But fret not, because it will continue with the playoffs already next week. We'll be in and going to the stretch to crown the definite champion of the split between the 4 qualifying teams, of course.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how long we need to wait for the upcoming Champ Select, but like with this new split, when it's still 13-13 as a patch, last time SLOTHS actually did not ban the Clad, and then Lunio picked the Clad, but they lost it with Clad. And just from the games so far Lunio played on his main account in the new season, we don't see a single Clad game, so he might tries to train a lot of other champions, so maybe we see something else from Lunio this time around. But maybe if Clad is open, they will just try it, because it's probably his best pick anyway. So let's see. And last time they just banned out Hecarim and Mundo and the Milio, I guess. So Rift maybe just will copy their last Champ Select and just play it cleanly. Who knows? Who knows? This time they are not first pick, because last time they were blue side, now they are red side. At least if my informations are right. And let's see what they can do with that when the Champ Select finally starts.
I think they'll definitely go for this, at least the Mundo ban, probably also the Hecarim ban. I feel like for the matches I've seen, they've always been banned against FULLCLEAR eSports, and I think that's a constant that everybody's going to stay on. Especially since FULLCLEAR's jungler Galop has an automated buff playing Hecarim, because his name is kind of like associated to horses, at least it is in French.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe as a little side note, last time they played against each other was patch at 13.11. So with that, after 2 patches, I think Milio at least got some nerfs. So we might not see the Milio ban because of that. So we might see the Clad ban then coming out or something. But at least they just start with Mundo like they did last time. And let's see what FULLCLEAR wants to ban from Rift this time. I think they banned Jaxfira, Zeri, Wukong, and Kindred. So maybe some returning bans, or maybe they lost bans. I don't know.
Maybe because of the delay there was. Yes.
Okay.
We're also being told that Festier is Lost Lunio, just under a new name. So the Clad is still on the table here.
But I play with another support then, right?
So that name does not ring a bell to me either.
Yeah, because they played with Sky Ownage normally. And without Sky Ownage, it's not Sky Ownage, so I think that it's another support. I mean, not that this game is actually mattering, because they are still in playoffs and you can try out stuff and just do whatever you want. And I really like the Rumble ban, by the way. That's one of those champions Lunio trained a little bit in his solo queue, so just banning it makes definitely some sense.
Yes, preparation seems to be present. In the case, is it going to be the Hecarim ban now, or are they confident that either FULLCLEAR... No, it is the Hecarim ban. So we still have the Mundo Hecarim bans are still up, replacing Milio by Rumble. And for now, looking very similar to last time for the Rift SLOTHS at least.
No. And no, I think then they probably lost all the bans, so probably will see not a single ban from FULLCLEAR. And Maokai first pick, like Shredded needs to play Maokai every single game, so we might see Maokai. No, it's just Kaiser. Okay.
Yeah, Kaiser coming in, has some flexibility. He'll be put on the mid lane, and as an AD carry position as well. So definitely keeping their deck hidden for now on sides of Rift SLOTHS. FULLCLEAR having to be very careful to what they pick, because losing those bans is always dangerous in a game of League of Legends. It gives the enemy so much more agenda, and you need to be so much more cautious on what you pick, what your game plan is.
Yeah, but I mean, in the great scheme of things, that probably does not change anything. I mean, in the end, this game does not really matter in terms of standings. They could basically pick whatever they want and are still in playoffs. But I really like Nomad's Aphelios. I think he played it a lot. I mean, really, like in almost every single game, he plays this Aphelios. And with Galop now on Wukong, I think it's a good engaging tool for him. And there's LeBlanc, so we see LeBlanc again, still after the static nerf of 13-13. Baker Buchan will still play her, and Kaiser, of course, for the bot lane, but now they need a lot of AD damage. So basically, especially now with the Sejuani locked, you have no AD in jungle, no AD ADC, and no AD's mid lane. So that's basically, for me, the Jax top lane pick. Jax Irelia, something like that. And FULLCLEAR probably isn't able to ban out stuff, so it should come out, and then they just need a hyper carry on AD for top lane.
It's definitely else. It's going to be really easy for FULLCLEAR esports to build against them. That's going to be the Orianna. This beautifully rounds up what FULLCLEAR has going for them currently. This whole wombo combo, they're starting to look like a real threat. Nothing screams go like 3 knockups in a row, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a good pickup there. And especially a lot of CC now for the Aphelios to make a lot of work. And they lost all the banning rights, so basically now Aurelia ban, now Jax ban, for example, against Rift SLOTHS. Which would be 2 at least I would do probably. I mean, Lex can still play other AD champions, but they are probably one of the stronger ones. And now the question becomes, do you blind pick support or blind pick top lane? And I would rather blind pick support to give Lunio maybe a good matchup. With that, he might be good enough to outplay something, who knows. Or they just try to give him the Renekton, just a good blind pick, and then get a good bot lane matchup against Kreesen.
Yeah. Riftsov's support player not to be underestimated, especially since recently he has started to branch out. I mean, he was famous for only picking Nautilus at the start of this summer split, but he has been starting to shake things up a bit as of late. So you can't just assume that he is going to go for that pick.
Yeah, like I said, Renekton would be a good lock-in, just a good blind pick, probably good enough against Aurelia. It's kind of a skill matchup against the Jax, but maybe they don't go for that and either go for the Lulu instead. So counter pick to top lane. It's a good decision, but I kind of like the Renekton as well.
Yeah, and well, Lulu fits well with Aphelios. I mean, works just fine. And they can now chain 4 knockups if they go all in.
Yep, just pick Nautilus here for Kreesen. Oh no, they go for Blitzcrank. But at least a hook champion, right?
Yeah.
And now the question is, do they blind pick the Jax? That's one idea, I think. Aurelia is just a little bit too solo queue-esque, so probably it's rather the Jax, in my opinion.
And there you have it. Jax to offset this balance of AP damage towards some more AD damage. As Riftsovs are lacking that a bit.
And Lunio now hovering some champions. I think the Poppy at least is a good one against Jax, against Sejuani, LeBlanc. So you can at least stop some dashes. So Lunio definitely has a good idea. but especially if you are not like too comfortable on like something like Poppy against the Jax main, this is not like the easiest matchup. So Jax can definitely punish Poppy, even in early game. So Lunio needs to be a little bit careful, and especially if he has not too many Poppy big games. I think he has some last season and the season before that, but not really a main at least.
Yeah, it allows FULLCLEAR to like. It further goes into their we go in combo. I mean, they have a clear game plan here. They just have Wukong going in with the knockups, and all the rest can follow up with further knockups. Waiting for that wonderful Wombo combo coming out for FULLCLEAR Esports, and if all of that adds up perfectly, they can have a very nice game. And SLOTHS also with some very elusive champions, so that's definitely not making their job easier to catching them in their Wombo combo. I mean, you have LeBlanc, which has like so much mobility. You have Kai'Sa, which has some mobility and especially the invisibility, so it makes it hard to pin her down. Jax as well can jump around if he decides to do so. So some very good answers to that as well.
Yeah, looks good. But like it's just a classic team composition by SLOTHS, carry top lane, tank mid lane, good 1v1 champion in mid lane, and then of course like Adafla on Kai'Sa, which is always scary, hook champion engage on Creason. So at the moment they just draft the same kind of style every single game, so they are well trained with that. And they already beat it FULLCLEAR in their last match against them, so I would believe that Rift, with their expertise and such team comps, should take this victory home and make the final win in the books to have the perfect speed.
Yeah, definitely coming in as a favorite in this matchup. SLOTHS up for a perfect split, as you've said it. That could be the first step to breaking their curse, which has been following them for a while, of coming into playoffs and then not being able to finish those properly. So maybe a good omen for the SLOTHS coming into the playoffs next week. Strong with a 14-0, not a loss on their side. And most importantly, I mean, we talked about this playoff situation last week a bit with Grizzon. He was very confident that in a best-of matches situation, they should be able to leverage further their strong position. He thinks they will be a lot more comfortable in those even than on single matches. Although it is the opportunity for both teams always to adapt and overcome maybe their enemies over the course of one matchup.
Yeah. I mean, on the best of series, you have always a chance to adapt. You have always a chance to maybe get some good deep draft prep for both sides, for example, just to maybe have a fallback draft plan and stuff. So preparation is key in such a best of series, and especially with the coaching stuff behind SLOTHS, I think those best of series even are a little bit better for them than those best of ones where they are really decent. But you saw them struggling at least a little bit against Pertinax. They almost lost. I think there was even a second team which was really close to defeating them. So sometimes it's a little bit rough for SLOTHS, and with that, a best of series maybe suits them a little bit better, because if they even lose one of those games, they still have like 2 or 3 to go. So that would definitely help them in such a moment.
Absolutely. As we're heading towards the second game of tonight, the top 2 teams currently both locked in for playoffs. A match that is all about, or only about, honor and glory for both teams. Will FULLCLEAR Esports be able to upset the tide and get the first win of any team against SLOTHS, or will the SLOTHS keep on winning through this split, going for this perfect one.
Yeah, let's see. With the split screen, maybe on there would be an evading situation, so we might see some stack or we might see some early wards, just to keep that in mind. And then of course Shredded always goes for those early invades. So with that information, you could try to play around that as full clear just to save Gallop and just try to play around it when they try to invade the the bot side, to just try to kill Shredded there.
Yes, absolutely. And the things do start very tame now. Nobody wagers. Too dangerous move either. Blind took, you never know. Things falling.
There's the invade. Would I try to go for it? Like I said, Shredded always goes for the invade. At least Gallop is on this other side of the rift, so nothing will happen. But that's sneaky. But I mean, it's not really sneaky because he always does it, so it's kind of predictable.
Yes, but with that, he's already gonna be a bit in Gallop's way. Question is he expecting it? Is he prepared enough to see it coming? Will he be flabbergasted once he gets back to his bot side and discovers his jungle just to be empty on that side?
Yeah, probably the second. I mean, he will lose 3 camps and does not even know that, so that's really sad for Gallop.
Yes, as now with that, Shredded is coming in towards the bot lane. They don't seem any the wiser to him coming, and they are keeping the pressure up, although he is here in the bush and is deciding to come in. We have the ghost that goes out. Nice flash from Nomad to get out of the queue, but the stun is going to go to Tagsving, and that's first blood for Ardafla.
Yep, Nomad needed to burst both summoner spells while they got Ludo, and now Gallop kinda knows it, so he will try to invade the top side now. And with that, it's kinda a map split, so both junglers will probably just take bot and top of the other one. And, or maybe a top lane gank, but that's really risky in my opinion.
Here we can see Gallop on the minimap, no connection yet, there it is. Direct cam goes for it. FaceShit decides to just leave it be. Ooh, very nice hook on Tagsvik here from under the turret. Gets back to lane, is put at half-life immediately. In the meantime, Nomad also starting to get really low on mana, so that's gonna be a rough run for FULLCLEAR here at the bot lane in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, I would have just went for the camps instead of for the top lane gank. They just did not even get the flash out of Lex, and now Gallop just is in a big of trouble. Oh, Bukan season.
I might get the kill on Bukan. Connection is there, yeah, no. Very nice hook here onto Nomad, who was left alone from his support, and that's going to be the second kill going to Ardafla at the 4th minute already.
Yeah, well played by Rift, just seeing that Lulu wants to come to mid lane and just punishing it.
Yeah, and we already have a lot of action this early in the game. Both teams, or especially Rift Sloth, starting to set a lot of speed into this, and Gallop feeling the need to react to it.
Yeah, kinda makes sense, but he dropped a lot of farm with that and is just way too behind right now, and that's on a Wukong.
Yeah, and now we have Shredded coming into the top lane onto Fastshire. Flash is out, but the stun will go through, and that's a kill that goes to the Sejuani.
And look at the wave. I mean, this wave will crush into the turret, and with that, just a big wave lead probably for Lex. He can just try to freeze it now, and then go base, and then just having a frozen wave before his turret, which makes a lot of sense. And Lunio needs to overstay to then push the wave in. So that's a really tough situation Nuno kinda got into.
Yes. Keep just saying the name he currently has on. You're making a good point by saying Lunia should definitely say his original name as to not confuse people.
But I mean, FULLCLEAR goes for the Drake, and maybe especially because there's sausage on the top lane, but oh, the Drake resetting is so sad.
So good here we have the Hex Flash hook onto Taxvic, and the Rift Sloths pick up another kill. Mary joining in, however, could dissuade them from trying to stealing the Drake.
But what damage? Oh,
Level 6 for Lex here.
But not really danger. In the end, FULLCLEAR at least got a Drake, but lost 1 kill in return, which is kinda really amazing to see by Rift, especially by Adafla. I mean, this power spike, he has so much gold.
When here we have the catch on the mid lane, Gallop forced to flash away. It's not enough as he dies at the hands of Bakan.
And they knew, but probably just about one of them, not about both. And because they did not knew that both of them will wait in the brush, he just gets instantly deleted.
And look at that. 6 minutes into the game, Rift Sloths have a 3.5k gold lead. This is already so huge. This part of the game, it's like 1/3, 33% more than the FC, and that's quite insane. And most of that lead is most surely on Adafla. Another hook from Grizzon onto Nomad. A lot of damage falling. Luckily for FULLCLEAR, they do have the polymorph up. They can turn the tides a bit, get some damage out on Grizzon, especially with Galop coming in. They felt confident, but Nomad has to be careful. He is already getting really low here.
Yeah, but still good hooks out from Grizzon. He makes this champion look so easy. The hook such an ADC like Nomad. And there's a top lane gank, maybe now onto the Poppy.
Another one, as Shredded comes in. We have to keep his verdict shooting Shredded away. Lex keeps push going, but won't tower dive yet. With Bakan coming in, along with Shredded coming back, they should be able to pick up that kill. The hook on the bush here onto Nomad, and Adafla should be able to pick up that kill. He goes on a rampage. 4-0 in the meantime on the top lane. The tower dive has engaged. Lunia does his best to kind of not die, but he does anyways. In the bot lane now, Mary joined in with a shock. With that went Ori. Bakan TPing in. Are they looking for the kills? Don't think they'll get to it, as FULLCLEAR is stepping back here.
Yeah, and that's first against second place. I mean, that's kinda a big gap so far. Maybe even a little bit more dominant than the first game they played against each other. But yeah, it looks really hard for FULLCLEAR. After the first 8 minutes, they lose so much in terms of maps, in terms of farm, in terms of those individual plays. Now even the Herald goes to Rift, so that's almost like another platings, 2 another platings, and maybe a full turret if they place it correctly. So a lot of gold will go to Rift just because of this. And at least Galop tries to get something back in return.
And Adafla and Bakan both already have their static shift. They're rotating towards that middle lane, probably looking to get that turret. Galop now getting caught into Shredded's jungle, is gonna die. Ooh! Almost saved, because the hook went onto the Krug, but dies anyways. Now Lex versus Lost Lunia. Lost Lunia gets some nice damage, especially with that minion wave onto Lex, who is forced to fall back.
And he has flash. I mean, I would go for a tower dive there. As a Poppy main, I would go for it, but he kinda plays it safe. Oh no, he stopped the recall. He just needs a good
ulti is up. Oh no!
Both trade flash. He got the turret aggro, which is really unlucky.
Yep. Oh yeah, Glacial Prison Mary is not gonna get away from this, especially with the sun. It's now a hook from Grizzon. What a beast! And Taxwick will not escape this. Double kill goes to Buchan as he stands now 4-0, just like his team's AD carry.
Yeah, that's the 6k gold after 10 minutes. Some more plating spot lane. And the top lane is like this standoff, like in the Wild Western. Both just have the gun and both know that they can kill each other. And yeah, in the end, Jax decided to not go for any risk and go space with the teleport. But there could have been blood, but both kinda missed the solo borrow.
Yeah, and in barely a few seconds, the gold lead goes up to 7k as mid lane a lot of platings fall because of the Herald being put down. And can we just appreciate how SLOTHS pretty much got all the platings on the bot lane turret and almost on the mid lane turret as well already. I think this is the biggest gold difference I've ever seen in my time casting. At the 11th minute, of course.
Yeah, it's really rough. And can we just talk about top lane? I mean, oh, they might get Lex here.
Might be getting Lex here with the CC. Shane, the damage is there. Lex unable to get back. No, he jumps on a turret to get on the minion, but he is gonna die at the hands of Galop. Shredded comes in, might be able to get someone on a turret, especially with Risen now, as no minions means easy hook for the Blitzcrank player. No, it goes Ori. Nomad very low, however, they have to be careful. Glacial Prison goes to the side as well. Nomad now very low, gets killed by Shredded in the meantime in the mid lane. Last Lunia might be able to get the shutdown money from Adafla. No, he does not, as that's another kill going to the AD carry of the SLOTHS. In the meantime, on top lane, Buchan has joined in. Galop all alone now is gonna go try and get... No, he dies at the hands of Buchan as well. And now Adafla moves over to the mid lane turret. And with that, SLOTHS just deepen their pockets, get the first turret, and just another slew of kills on to FULLCLEAR Esports.
Yeah, it's just a mess. FULLCLEAR has basically no chance to even do something in the game. Was a good tower dive there. We might see it again. Yeah, there comes the teleport. So we might see a little... Whatever was that? Anyway, I thought we see the top lane play, but never mind.
Stuff happens, and
Regime
time is a
was
soup.
drunk. Not drunk, but you guys know what I mean. Yeah, but let's. I mean, before all of this disaster with Poppy got killed and stuff, this lane was even. They had even farm. They had like. Basically both had no impact, 0-1, 0-3, but the game is already lost. And I mean 9k gold lead, with both top laners essentially being like 300 gold or separate from each other. Like top lane is such an irrelevant role, it's so sad to see. I mean, I could be in this Poppy in solo queue and I could do nothing. I mean, I really feel with him. I really feel with Lunio right now. It's just an unfair game where sometimes top lane could not matter less than this time. It's so sad.
Up here, Cad on to Tax. Vegas forced to use Wild Grove on himself, but not getting away. We're at the point where Shredded and Grizzin, a full tank jungle, and the Blitzcrank support just go around and kill people. Because they can. They are so far ahead. Now the TP to stop Galop from trying to get shutdown money. Oh no, Lex has no shutdown money, but trying to get a kill on Lex here. Khan joining in, Mara as well. They have still to be a bit careful because Mara isn't all too bad into this game, and one well-placed shockwave can be very dangerous.
Oh, we're not in trouble.
Yes. There you go, and the hook, and that's another kill going to Adafla. In the meantime, Lex, I really like how Lex is just a red herring, as now SLOTHS full engage onto FULLCLEAR Esports. A lot of damage falling onto Nomad, but the situation turns around as Lex is first of all. They kill Grizzin, and now Adafla has to be very careful, gets really low, gets a kill, but dies at the hands of Last Lunio. And FULLCLEAR Esports is still able to wager some kills out. They have to be careful because now it's Buchan that joins back in. Lunio flashes away. Situation seems diffused for now.
It was a wonderful wombo combo by Nomad and Nemera, but they are just far too far behind. I mean, even with this 1k gold shutdown, it's still 8k. I mean, it's basically does nothing that they found a good winning team fight. It's so sad. But at least Poppy should be maybe even ahead in gold now. Top lane at least. So this 1k gave her at least something. But she will not carry. I know that Poppy top lane can't carry. I know it from my solo queue game. So I mean, Lunio does his best, but sometimes the best isn't enough. And yeah, it's just the game is over, man. The game is over. Perfect split by Rift. I don't see any chance for full clear, sadly.
Yes, I mean, they're definitely cornered here. Galop encountering Lex with Mara might be able to do something, but Lex just doesn't go into that fight then. Under the turret, might find the angle, but the turret is going to fall very soon. He goes all in onto Mara. Galop already very low, is going to take a beating as now Shredded joins back in. And they do get the kill on the Wukong before he gets the turret. No, he does not get the turret. In the meantime, we have a turret falling to the hands of the Rift SLOTHS. As now the first slew of turrets is broken.
Yeah, tier 1 bot lane will fall soon as well. And with that we are officially 10k ahead after 16 minutes. Herald gets no spawn, that's a lot of gold if they get this turret, and now they maybe even tower dive. Oh, good hook.
Yeah, very nice hook from Grizzly. He just never disappoints. Almost.
Yeah, was a good play. I don't know if they can tower dive it anymore. But they could at least try it, or just fish for another hook.
And another hook here, and they take down Lunio. FULLCLEAR now one member down. That opens the door for the Rift SLOTHS to do almost everything they want. Nomad still being more or less dangerous if the Rift SLOTHS aren't too careful. They cannot permit themselves to do anything they want. But they do pick up tier 2 on bot lane now as well.
Yeah, and with that it's 12k. But I mean, they lost 2 Drakes, right? But I mean, it's irrelevant, but still. Rift with a deficit on Drakes.
Yes. As the next Drake is spawning, and this time around, with all of the broken turrets, I think FULLCLEAR is already pushed so far back into their base. They wouldn't be able to find the angle to get it before Rift gets to it. If they even bother, they could just keep the push going at Fine.
Yeah, Drake. Probably gets taken down.
Yes, Monsieur Galop gets caught, is gonna die at the hands of Lex. You know, the rest of the Rift SLOTHS are already engaging the Drake. He is looking to survive, however. No, he dies.
Yeah, that was a good reaction. I mean, just stopping the jump by ultimate. That was a smart little play, but sometimes smart little plays aren't enough. Oh, a missing hook by Chrisen.
Yep. I think I've counted, and there were 2 out of like a lot.
Really?
There was one on top lane where he missed as well.
Oh no.
I
yeah,
know.
but he hit it a lot. I mean,
most definitely. I mean, the hooks he does hit are completely insane. So look, another one. That just goes.
and he takes the kill.
But I mean, he deserves it.
Yeah,
he absolutely deserves it.
Yeah, I know that's next tier 2 turret. Oh no, they can't take it down so far, but there comes Shredded. Swift ultimate here has definitely some potential.
And the SLOTHS are gonna keep pushing this. 13k gold lead. And it feels as they're like so far ahead in terms of items, especially on Ardafla and Khan. And another hook from Grizzly. TP coming in. as Baron is up. And with that, Rizlov should be able to put a definite dent into FULLCLEAR's last defenses.
Yeah, 20 minutes, 13k gold. It's too much, man, it's too much.
And another hook.
But they at least don't have damage to kill him or Adabla.
Did you get the Nasher, and now they decide to turn back around. Maybe Gallop is able to get Grizzon, although Lex is coming in now with the stun. He does get the kill, but that's return kill. And now Lonio, last member up of FULLCLEAR along with Mara, is gonna die at the hands of Bakan. Oh no, Taxfig is also still alive.
And now it's 16k. I mean, if they get to 20k after 20 minutes, that would be amazing, but it's still a lot more gold to go.
Yeah, and now they are like in a good position to get quite a lot of money from the turrets though. So they take top lane turret, top lane inhib, rotate towards mid lane turret, get mid lane inhib. Members of FULLCLEAR are starting to respawn. Lunio is there very soon as well. So they have to be a bit careful, as they are not in their home turf. And at numerical disadvantage, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, it's so much gold. It's so crazy what they have more actually. I mean, 10k is like a lot normally. 10k means everybody has like 2k more than his opponent. Some have 3k more. It's a whole item and stuff. But like 18k, it's like everybody has so much more gold.
Yeah, yeah. We don't even need to see the gold because you just see it on the items, plain and simple. Look how much damage this Underflood does with whichever ability. Look at that. You could kill them from like across their base.
Yeah. I know they get triple inhib after 22 minutes. Some could say 22 minutes, that's a little bit too much time with this gold lead, but I mean, it's fine. Oh, last effort engage.
After this, Gala finds the purchase, dies at the hands of Bakan. They keep on going, but Rivslov's turn around as they can just annihilate FULLCLEAR esports team here. Now Lost Lunia came out of the fountain. One good hook from Grizzon. Oh no, the third one is there. But that is game, ladies and gentlemen. Rivslovs with the perfect split here at the ESLOL 2nd Division.
No, well played, well played. And it was not a close one, you could say.
Yeah, no. Well, we had 11k gold difference. I mean, completely insane, but you are right. I think Professor would put slow finish there because they've had an insane gold lead at minute 6. It was already like 3k. That's completely nuts. That's a whole item. I feel like they definitely waited for the very last game to show everybody what they're truly capable of with that. And yeah, definitely going very strong position into the finals, into the playoffs, I mean. But who knows, the curse might still hit, but it seems to be looking really good for them up to now. We of course have an interview planned incoming from the winning team. We will have none other than the one, the only, the Hook Master Grizzon himself. Welcome, Grizzon.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to have you back here on stage.
Nice to be here.
To you. Perfect split.
Yeah, feels
how
good.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, good question. How am I feeling? I'm just looking forward to playoff mostly, but it's of course exciting to go undefeated. But I'm still looking ahead, but maybe I have a good point of like celebrating the moment and be proud of the team.
Yeah, that's totally true. Yeah, if we look at playoffs, like we have a couple of teams now as a bunch, they have all the same score and stuff, so
Yeah.
3 of them will be in playoffs with you guys. Just who is the team who might, maybe, just get one game ahead, away from you? So who is like the biggest competition, if there's competition?
I think personally, My biased opinion is that German gang is the strongest team aside from us from playing against them. So I think they could have the possibility to maybe do something. I think they have fundamentals set and they seem like a good team even though the scores might not say so.
Okay, so your prediction for German gang and next would be German gang winning the next game now?
Yes,
Okay.
but I might be wrong.
And then Dynasty, of course, winning against Once Upon a Team. So those are the three teams together with you?
That seems very likely, yeah. I think that's how it's gonna go against Once Upon a Team. I think they're good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like we saw Blitzcrank today from you.
Yeah.
We saw Alistar, we saw plenty of Nautilus.
Yeah.
Do you hate enchanters? Is it just enchanters are too? I mean, not that. I mean, engagement support works fine with you guys, and it's, I mean, perfect split speak for itself. But do you have a bias against it, or?
Not at all. I think one of my most played is like Nami, Lulu, stuff like this because it used to be strong. I think right now I'm just enjoying having a bigger voice and what feels like more game impact by having the luxury to take initiative and this kind of change. But actually I wanted to play Ashe and then they said Nautilus and then I logged in Blitzcrank.
That seems like a wild ride though. But it worked perfectly fine. Your hooks were so on point. There was like this one, I just can't get it out of my head. It went like so close next to the minion and you just hooked Nomad into you. Beautiful hooks, they just keep on going. How do you do that?
I mean, you just click on enemy champs and then they come to you.
Oh shit, I should have, yeah. That seems like a very good point. Should try that sometimes.
Yeah, I have one question about your history. Like the lane at the moment with Adafla as your ADC, like you're dominating every single bot lane so far, and I mean you guys are crazy. Is Adafla one of your best ADCs you ever played with him, or who would take the spot if you look at like your whole back history with EU Masters and stuff? Like who was the best ADC in your opinion you ever played with?
I played shortly on a team called Attempting to Reconnect, and I played with Upset, and he was pretty good.
Yeah, he went to Worlds. I think he is.
So I think he's like the best one. Aside from that, I played with Pinoy when he was really good, and I enjoyed playing with him as well.
Yeah, former.
But I like playing with Ada as well, so I don't want to diss him.
So he's on third place, right?
Yeah, obviously yes.
Obviously. Perfect. Yeah. I don't know, Luik, Medius. Any last question for our man for the best support in the Rift?
I don't have any more questions.
Perfect. Then let's just celebrate you guys. Go back to the team, and I wish you just the best of in terms of the playoffs. And hopefully, I mean, maybe the perfect split isn't over. Maybe it's the perfect playoffs run as well.
We can only hope, right?
You guys can go for it.
That would be lovely.
Perfect. Then see you maybe next time with the next interview. Who knows? But for now, have a good weekend and thank you for the interview.
Likewise. You're welcome.
Well, risen ladies and gentlemen, hooking left and right and just helping quite a lot in this game. Anyways, I'd say without any further ado, we will hop into a short break and prepare for what I would say is one of the most important matches of tonight. Next versus German Gang, deciding which of the two will land into playoffs. Grizz putting his money on German Gang, so we'll see how that pans out, and we'll see you in a bit.